The role of technology in real estate is something we have been discussing about for past few weeks now, and we have done a variety of topics. We have had conversations on different aspects of real estate and how different kinds of technology, whether it's AI, whether it's IoT, whether it's immersive digital technologies, various kinds of technologies, how they are helping in reshaping the real estate product and the real estate experiences as we knew it. Today we are going to take this conversation forward, and we have a very interesting topic at our hand, which is how artificial intelligence, AI, which is the buzzword nowadays, is helping us deliver better experiences and sharpshooting the consumer. This is an area where there's a lot of development that is happening and at breakneck speed. What we discuss today can actually become obsolete tomorrow. But however, it's very important for you as a user, as a consumer, to know how technology can help you take a far more informed decision, make better decisions, and therefore invest wisely and better. Namaskar, I'm Prasun Kumar, and you're watching this new episode of The Property Show on MBTV, world's largest real estate channel. To discuss this interesting topic, I have got a stellar panel of guests with me. In the studios, I have got Mr. Akshay Chaturvedi, who is Chief Business Officer of VDO.AI, which is a edtech company in the video advertisement space. Joining us online is Mr. Aryaman, who's founder and CEO of Morpho, which is an architecture and interior design firm at the cusp of technology. And Mr. Yashdeep Jadon, who is founder and CEO of SigmaValue.in, which is an AI-powered real estate intelligence engine. So welcome, gentlemen. I've got three panelists from three different dimensions, from architecture to video to intelligence. And all of you have one thread in common, which is artificial intelligence, right? And how all three of you are leveraging AI to make your product better and to help, the real estate consumer decide better is what we're going to discuss, right? So let's begin this. The role of technology is something which is not in doubt. All of us are experiencing it. Consumers experience it day in and day out. Technology is part of us today. But when it comes to purchasing or investing in real estate, it has always been seen from a lens of bit of a, I should say, traditional lens, where a lot of traditional wisdom used to be applied, and therefore you got to be, kind of physically doing a lot of things, and a lot of things were about a matter of touch and feel, and so therefore decision making could not be completely online or technology driven. There were a lot of offline part to it, but a lot of it is changing now, right? Let me start with you, Akshay. Video consumption is not a story anyone needs to be, kind of selling to anyone. Everyone is consuming videos by dozens every minute. How is AI helping you enhance the entire video ad experience as far as developers and end consumers are concerned?
First of all, thank you so much for inviting me here. And hello to all my panelists, and hello to the viewers of MBTV. It's a great initiative. It's a very good question. So video is actually taken over, and I think if you would like to call today's audiences, could be called the scroll and conquer
Correct
generation.
Yes.
They're scrolling, and then they're trying to identify what's relevant to them, what sort of resonates with them. How AI is actually layering on top of it is in multiple ways. First of all, I think AI is essentially able to create all sorts of things on a runtime basis. What could not be done on a runtime basis or traditionally is now possible. If you talk about the first thing, which is let's say sizing the market, or in terms of creating the audience cohorts, which is essentially buckets of audiences, or my consumers or end users who I'm going to market. Those can now be segmented based on their intent, on a runtime basis. After that has been done, they can actually be thrown or shown messaging in terms of what resonates with them. So, for example, let's say somebody who's been consuming, videos around, wellness or greenery or tranquil spaces. the messaging or the video prioritization or creative selection for them
Sure.
could essentially shift on a runtime basis to, let's say, if you are looking for serenity, here's the solution. Versus, let's say, somebody who's a Zomato user, is into lifestyle, who's into nightlife, and who prefers the city life. The messaging could immediately change
Sure.
to, sort of, you're looking for city life with proximity to this.
So real-time contextual messaging is
Absolutely, real-time contextual messaging, and I think it fits in beautifully in terms of who you want to identify as your user, and what you want to showcase to that user, and in what language and tonality you want to talk to that user.
Okay.
It's absolutely possible now with the AI
Okay.
on top of whatever campaign that you have.
Okay.
So same campaign, millions of narratives, all done in milliseconds.
Okay. So AI is making video work harder.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
And efficiently.
And efficiently. Correct. Yashdeep, from an intelligence gathering point of view, from insight mining perspective, right, and giving a sharper insight and a better action, call to action to developers and consumers. How is how is AI helping you achieve that?
We have to understand AI from the perspective of what it does in various stages. So first, AI works with identify the behavioral signals of the user. Let's say if anybody is scrolling through the video of the real estate, and if someone is having a deep interest towards the property which is very close to the nature, right? So AI could help us in identifying the preference of the buyer. So once we need to have a look at how the AI is clustering the behavior of the buyer.
Okay.
And how it is identifying the signals.
So you would say real-time buyer segmentation and therefore customizations accordingly.
Right. User and buyer segmentation. And as sir has very rightly told that it does all these things on a real-time basis, right? So then we have to understand the concept of reinforcement learning. So once the buyer, through its behavior, or once the seller, for that matter, through its behavior, gives the signal to the AI. The AI catches the signal and then it identifies that signal and does the attributization. So attributization is the concept that it does the latent embeddings of that signal and it clusters it. On that basis, it makes the buyer persona. Okay. So, and once the buyer persona is made, then it can be used by any of the stakeholder in the ecosystem to target the right kind of uh, buyer and using the right kind of ads.
Okay. Correct. Aryaman, coming to you in architecture and interior design, in terms of designing the entire project and deciding the various contours of it and exteriors and interiors of it. Technology has been there for quite some time now. I think the drawing board designing kind of went out way back in 90s itself. There has been computerization technology and role of that. How is AI changing a lot of it now?
So I think AI has played a significant role, at least in the interior design and architecture space, like you mentioned, across all life cycles of a project. So, when a project initially comes to us, the client expects a full design brief, right? Like a full design exercise done for him. So that design exercise involves making a 2D layout, it involves making 3Ds, it involves making GFCs, which are good for construction drawings. So usually what happens is the client is also going through this process with you. So he may have an afterthought, right? Like after doing the 3Ds, he might think, okay, maybe let me revise this area. Now, traditionally, all these changes and getting all these things in place would take a significant amount of time. Now, what we're doing is we are doing a large part of our 2D layouts through AI. We are doing a lot of 3D rendering through AI. And so right now, AI has reached a very long way in sort of giving us the quality of product that we were aiming for. But I would say there's still a lot of human quality checks that go into ensuring that the eventual product quality aligns with our firm standards. So whilst AI is fastening the process, I think it's more sort of enabling our team to deliver in a faster timeline as opposed to taking over the job entirely. So I think with AI, we've been able to cut down, for example, the design phase of a project from about 45 days to maybe 6 to 7 days. So that's how much compression has happened.
Okay, so in many ways, across all these three different dimensions that you guys are talking about, AI has definitely helped improve efficiencies and helped you probably sharpshoot the outcomes slightly better. Right now, understanding it from a user point of view, from a consumer's perspective, right? Tell me, how is, for example, a video ad which is contextually targeted and real-time contextually targeted, how would you say, Akshay, is that going to help the buyer or the investor who's looking at investing at that point of time? What is the real benefit that the investor or the buyer gets out of that?
Real estate as a category itself has evolved a lot, over the last decade or so. From, let's say, just functional based unit selling to, let's say, tapping into latent needs of people. Real estate has come a long way. Now that also means that what has fundamentally changed? Fundamentally, the consumer itself has changed. Now there are multiplicity of need states, within the users. Someone is looking for serenity. Someone is looking for, let's say, a retirement home. Somebody is looking for kid-friendly home. Somebody is looking for capital appreciation, right? And somebody is looking for proximity to the hotspots of the city, right? And how do you align with these need states, if you are a developer, and try to speak to somebody on an individualized basis, right? Because traditionally the marketing approach has been very
One to many.
one to many, and here you have to talk one to one.
So you're getting into personalization, a bit more.
Absolutely. So AI, when it steps in, from a user's perspective, what it does is it essentially is able to identify, saying that, okay, as I think my fellow panelist had earlier mentioned, user persona. So user persona is nothing but user personality. What is it that I am looking for? What is it that I prefer? What kind of a content I have been consuming? Okay, what is my intent, right? It converts that into a behavioral model and then selects the most appropriate messaging for that particular user, and in a manner it is cutting down the job of user to be to be sifting through multiple messages that are being directed at him, and choose what's the most suited, what's the best relevant offering for him. And from a builder or a developer's perspective, it obviously helps him to achieve a more qualified prospect.
Correct.
In that sense.
Yeah. Aryaman, I wanted to understand. You said one of the immediate benefits that you see is obviously in this stat reduction or the timeline cut down, of the initial project design from 45 days to say 6-7 days. Right, it does mean faster go to market. It does mean product delays not happening, launch delays not happening, and therefore it benefits the end user. Tell me, is using AI and related technology also helping you build better products, architectural design better products, and therefore utilizing their spaces better, and getting new concepts out so that the end user has far more choices and better choices?
Absolutely. So I think AI has come a very long way. I mean, if you'd asked me the same question 4 months ago, or maybe even 6 months ago, it was difficult for AI to create unique 2D plans that were actually making sense in the real world. But today, we've come a very long way from that. So, I would say that AI, what it's doing is it's freeing up consumed bandwidth of our architectural team or our interior design team, giving them a lot more flexibility to focus on more creative aspects of the job, to focus on aspects that will truly differentiate our projects for the client. So, to give you an example, there are many things that sort of go into the design phase of a project, and one monotonous part which is good for construction drawings. So these drawings actually are the technical detailing of the initial 2D plan of how the construction happens. Now, usually this is something which is rule based, right? So this is something where AI can sort of come in and make these plans or good for construction drawings for you. And the real brain power of the designer goes into the creative aspect of the 2D plan. So, this is how we are balancing the creative bandwidth of our team versus the integration of AI. So, I wouldn't say one is taking over the other or one can function without the other. Both of these parts are very delicate and go together in conjunction to sort of give a very, very differentiated product to the client. So, at the end of the day, if you rely solely on AI, you'll lose the differentiation that comes firm to firm because everyone has access to similar AI tools today. So to get that edge, to get that differentiation, it's important that the person who's number one utilizing AI and number two in charge of the project is able to do so in a differentiated manner.
All right. Yashdeep, tell me, how much in your experience have you seen the accuracy that you achieve when you're using AI on a set of database and try to kind of extract either insights out of it or build persona out of that or segmentation out of that? What kind of accuracies you are getting and how reliable therefore such outputs are for decision making?
That's a very great question. And I often come across this question across various spheres. So, see, accuracy, first, I would like to answer that on what parameters does the accuracy of AI model depends on. AI model depends on various parameters. Some of the parameters are quantifiable and some of the parameters are not quantifiable. Now, when I talk about the quantifiable parameters, that involves, let's say, if you are evaluating a building. So the quantifiable parameters are the built-up area of the building, the floors of the building, the amenities of the building. Now, amenities can come both in quantifiable as well as the non-quantifiable. So I just want to say that quantifiable means the objective parameters which are universal in nature. Okay, like the rate, price, square feet, and all those things, which doesn't depend upon the preference of any individual. Now, the non-quantifiable parameter are the parameters which depends upon the preference, likedness, or these are those parameters which cannot be quantified in a standardized manner. Like, let's say, for you, a beauty has got different notion than for Akshay. Okay. So, and in real estate, both these parameters are very important in deriving the right model. Okay. So, as far as the accuracy is concerned, coming to your question, we have seen that where the parameters are objective in nature and where they are standardized. For example, in valuation, we have achieved very good accuracy. In micro market analysis, we have achieved good accuracy to the tune of, I would say, for this concept follows the Pareto optimality concept. The accuracy in terms of real estate, for 80% of the areas, we have achieved accuracy to the tune of more than 90% accuracy. And for remaining 20% areas, the accuracy was like approximately 80 to 85%. So it is also a function of how homogeneous the market is. Like in Mumbai, you can get a slum, and nearby to that, you can get a very good building. So achieving accuracy in those market needs a much more specialized approach in terms of GIS mapping and all those things. So accuracy is a function of the parameters as well as the tool stack which you are using.
One of the phenomena that is happening in real estate right now is the entry of Gen Z,
Yeah.
right, as first-time investors or buyers. So your primary chunk of real estate consumer today is either a millennial or a Gen Z.
Yeah.
Millennials were not born in technology, but they are very well adverse with technology, and they've been using technology. Gen Z is born in technology, right, and for them technology comes natural, right, naturally. In this context, Aryaman, I wanted to understand from you, when you use technology for better product output, for enhancing the experience more, how do you see the adoption of this happening at, say, a developer's end? When you're getting your clients who are giving you projects, are they receptive, open to technology assisted designs, technology assisted plans coming their way, and therefore looking at going little unconventional in terms of design, looking at going little unconventional in terms of the entire floor planning and everything else? Or there is still a long way to go as far as adoption is concerned?
No, absolutely. I mean, I think it gives you a lot of flexibility in the kind of products you offer. So, for instance, today AI is assisting with mood boards.
Hmm.
So, mood boards are the core at which you understand the look and feel of a product.
Hmm.
So, like when with Gen Z, I think one of the themes with Gen Z has been instant, right? So that's why your quick commerce has worked.
Hmm.
So when we sort of show them designs, we can't say that here's one design, and if they don't like it, then we'll come back to you 3 weeks later with our next design set. I think that that level of patience now is lacking.
Hmm.
And it's not really required. So, when we sit with a client, we have four, five, six different options. And
Hmm.
of course, this is only possible because AI, to a large extent, is assisting us in mood board formulation. It's assisting us in design pitches and concept design. So, I
Hmm.
think the overall deliverables that we're able to provide a client and the variety at which we're able to provide is definitely due to this.
Now let's get into really looking at outside and see how the technology is being used across in real estate as an industry, as a category. Aryaman, let me start with you. In architecture and designing, worldwide, the practices that are there and the way the technology is being used, the kind of AI tools which are available, or the kind of inputs they are going, are they a little more evolved than what we are doing here, or are we at same level? What are some of the interesting trends that you have observed?
So I think AI is evolving on a weekly basis. I don't think anybody is ahead of the other. I mean, 1 month ago, maybe some other firm was ahead of us. Today,
Hmm.
with the latest technology, if we've been able to adopt it faster than them, we'll be ahead of them. I
Hmm.
think, but as a industry, as a sector, and maybe even as a world population, we are very nascent in the AI
Mhm.
journey. So I think where we've reached right now, these are very early days. So
Mhm.
it's difficult to say who's ahead of who because everyone is very rapidly adopting AI, integrating AI into their internal processes. So,
Mhm.
like I mentioned, one day someone might be ahead, and the next week someone entirely new might be ahead. With respect to the AI adoption.
But have you also seen some new trends or some new design concepts, some new architecture and design trends that are emerging because AI is able to kind of formulate new ideas and therefore throw new ideas to the on the table?
See, I don't think AI is still going to give us radical ideas which are fully different from what designers have been doing in the
Okay.
past. What it's doing is it's giving you, so, like 10 designers can have 10 different concept designs for the same project. So
Mm-hmm.
an AI is allowing you to get that perspective in one shot that, maybe this design, if not this and that design, but it's not giving you an 11th design, which is fully new,
Okay.
different from what any other designer could conceptualize. So I
Okay.
think that level of radical this will only come from a lot of experimentation with material, a lot of simulation with material usage. So I think we are still a little bit far away from that where AI is taking over the entire process. But as of today, I don't think in the design space the designs are so much the USP of AI. It's more so the efficiency, like you correctly mentioned previously, which firms are integrating inside.
Okay. With development in generative AI, you never know, by tomorrow you'll have a solution which will start designing by itself, right? We never know that.
I'll give you another example. I mean, I think maybe 45 days ago, we were trying to do 3D renders of a
Mm.
project using AI, and the proportionality was not accurate. I mean, like, when you put your hand on the table, the size of the hand with respect to the
Sure.
ratio of the
Mm.
table could be very inaccurate.
Mm.
Today, the 3D rendering is happening to a 99% accuracy, and I'm talking about a 45-day, time difference between what was
Yeah.
being done then and now.
Yeah.
So the rate at which AI is changing things is very unprecedented. Maybe, next week the ability of AI will drastically evolve with some new release of,
Mm.
some LLM. So I think it's a very, very radical world we are living in, very evolving world.
No, yes, interesting. I think the more you do with AI, the better it becomes. Anyway, and that's the way it is. Yashdeep, your perspective on how AI is being used in intelligence gathering and data mining and intelligence development as far as real estate is concerned. Globally, are the best practices with us. And another aspect that I actually wanted to ask is, because that's something I face as a marketeer, there's a cost to everything, right? And AI doesn't come for free. How much do you think AI is therefore feasible as far as intelligence development is concerned, where the cost is balanced out with the output enhancement or the output accuracy that you're talking about?
Let us look at this question at various aspects. See, first we have to understand what is the evolution of AI and whether we really need AI or not. As far as the evolution of AI and the global trend is concerned, real estate has witnessed, first we were majorly focused on property listing platforms. I mean, you just have to list the assets and any buyer, or for that matter, the seller or broker can list the asset, and any buyer can come and see and show his or her interest, and then you get the lead, and then you start pursuing them, or the buyer can get the contact number of seller, and then they can contact them themselves, and process goes on. Let us try to understand how it has changed. So from the property listing platform, now we can see the behavioral analytics of the buyer trend, which is being adopted by major platforms. That trend is not too prevalent in India. It is still in the nascent stage, since Indian market has got its own nuances in terms of heterogeneity, in terms of wide population that we need to cater to. Obviously, the adoption is going to be fast, but right now at present it is still in the nascent stage. So from the listing platform to identifying the behavioral analytics to recommending the personalized property for the prospect. So that trend is emerging at a very faster pace. Okay, that is one thing. Now coming to the trend in terms of gathering intelligence from the market. So see, if you are a developer and if you want to construct any project, the current practice, or I would say the practice which has been prevalent in India and across the world for last many years, is their team would go to the market, does the market survey. Some part of the data they can get it online, and major part of the data they have to collect from the market survey or from the telephonic inquiry or from the window shopping based model, so as to get the insider information and so on and so forth. Okay, now this trend is evolved uh, at a much faster pace, and there are multiple startups in India, including the Sigma Value and various other startups in India, which are working on it. What they have done is they have collated all the data from the most credible sources, either from the government records or from RERA website, and all this data are available in the public domain. Okay, but the major challenge is to how to process this data and get the actionable intelligence is the major challenge. I mean, tomorrow, if the government of India decides that we are going to make live all the data to everyone, okay, then also majority of the people would face a huge challenge in extracting the intelligence from it. Okay. So AI has helped us a lot in that thing, and various, as far as the cost is concerned, AI has reduced down the cost to a significant basis using the system of RAG and using the system of LLM. People can be better able to interact it using RAG. The system can be better able to identify the right set of data that needs to be presented to them. Okay, so this trend is witnessed at the global stage, and the India is not behind it.
Akshay, video, the area of video advertising. Now, how does the cost benefit analysis stack up as far as AI is concerned? Right? AI driven video solutions. If you really see from a cost point of view versus the benefit that it gives you, how would you put that?
So I would say that it would not be absolutely prudent to just evaluate video advertising from the prism of, let's say, cost itself. And I'll actually, go into details of why. See, as I said earlier, the way marketing in real estate needs to happen, it needs to undergo a decisive shift where it is building trust, it is communicating the meaningful, relevant hooks of the property, it's driving the meaningful engagement, expanding the audiences, and sort of doing it in a brand building route rather than just, let's say, get a form filled and push a user kind of a thing. So that's first. You have to build credibility, trust, and then you complete the rest of the user journey. I would essentially say that once you are past that stage, where you've built, a significant, branding and trust association with the user, I think your cost per acquisition will actually come down because the spillage with respect to the intenders or the people who are actively interested in acquisition of that property is going to be way higher. In comparison.
So you're saying higher conversion would offset that?
Absolutely, absolutely. So from an immediate perspective, you may say that, okay, I do not want to do a CPM based investment. I would only keep doing CPC investments. But eventually, if you were to go back and evaluate, saying that, okay, what is it that worked better for me? You would always realize that when you did CPM based funnels, the bottom of the funnel would have worked out much better for you versus just bottom of the funnel alone.
Okay.
So when you flow from tofu to middle of the funnel to bottom of the funnel, the quality of the users who you will be speaking to, the number of conversions that you will be able to achieve are going to be way higher in comparison to the traditional approach, and therefore eventually the outcomes with respect to cost per acquisition is going to be way lesser.
Great. So tell me, how do you see next couple of years from a technology immersion point of view as far as video advertising is concerned?
So I think technology is going to play a huge role in terms of real estate category, and I think this is perhaps the only category that remained untouched, so to say, with respect to top of the funnel advertising or let's say awareness or brand building activity. But that is going to fundamentally change. Now today you have actually plots that are coming up in spiritual destinations.
Yes.
People want to now buy a plot with respect to their favorite deities.
Yes.
They're never going to stay there on a permanent basis, right? So it's not a functional investment,
Sure.
right? Those audiences would essentially need to be, captured through a technology-led funnel, where you are essentially able to identify their spiritual
So
intent.
identifying new need gaps and therefore fulfill them. The technology will help you there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I think technology with respect to expanding the audiences, identifying the right sort of messaging for them, and as I said earlier, utilizing and deploying capabilities like dynamic creative optimizations, which will change the narrative for your campaign, on a runtime basis, whether it's to do with messaging or whether it's to do with language, it will happen. So, for example, you were mentioning Gen Z earlier, and Gen Zs will understand terms like Riz and Slay and such things better versus, let's say, serenity and tranquility for the older age groups.
Yeah.
All this will be possible through an intervention of technology-induced layer on top of whatever communication you choose to do. And I see, therefore, that we are at a point of tectonic shift, with respect to advertising in real estate, and going forward, video advertising in general and use of technology and AI is going to assume a very, very important role,
Okay.
in the next two to 3 years itself.
Okay. Yashdeep, the same question for you. Next couple of years from tech-driven intelligence gathering perspective.
I would love to see a future and which is not too far, in which the property selling is being done through the help of AI agent. I mean, you just need to capture the photograph of your home and just need to put it on a particular platform. Then the AI agent is going to do all the work, like what is the best quoting price which you should go for, what's the timeline that you can expect to sell your home, and which all platforms you can leverage upon to do the marketing and all. So AI agent obviously is going to be the future of real estate. But before that, real estate has to see, since real estate is among a few sectors which adopt AI at a very late stage, or I should say the adoption of AI in real estate is always going to be little slow than any other sector due to the heterogeneity of the sector, the basic nature of the sector. But once it has started reaching the end consumer mind, or the conscious of the society, then there is no turning back. And one more I would say one of the great examples that I can see is a chat GPT. It is, I mean, 2 years back, people living in the rural areas, they didn't know about AI. I mean, they just know about AI from hearsay information and all. But right now, people, I mean, 15 to 20% of the Gen Z in the rural areas, they talk about AI. Okay. So it's a matter of time, it's a matter of acceptance only before the AI is going to reach them. And from the industrial point of view, what I think the journey would be like this. First, there was a rule-based approach, or algorithmic based approach to do the process. Let's say if I talk about the Magicbricks platform, so there is a whole set of process which goes in listing the asset on the platform. Now this workflow automation is going to be done very soon. Agentic AI or the AI agent both aims at doing the workflow automation and in introducing efficiency and optimizing the cost in the system. So across the sector, various organizations are going to see this shift, and once they have started adopting it, then of course the customer will be using it on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, so you are a little cautious about it. Aryaman, how will AI change architecture and design over the next couple of years, according to you?
So I think AI has already changed it quite considerably, but as we see AI getting better, I think the entire efficiency aspect, like even material selection, material application, backward cost integration, like for example, today when a client comes and tells you his budget is 3,000 rupees a square foot. First, you have to do a design based on your experience, hoping that eventually when you do the estimation of the project, that design can be achieved at 3,000. Once you have AI in place, you can do it backwards. That okay, 3,000 mein these are the different products or materials or raw materials that can actually go into the project. Basis which what design can we come up with. So I think the entire mechanism or the flow in which we sequence our design process may get changed or may actually be fully reversed as AI develops. So I think that level of nuance will come as we see AI sort of incrementally get better, like you mentioned, over time.
Okay. So, well, users, this was a very, very interesting conversation from experts who have been using AI in various ways in their own domains, and they all are bullish about its future. Some, though, optimistic, and some are treading with caution as well, saying AI needs to also develop real use cases and real values on the table to really take off. There's a clear value that is coming out in terms of efficiencies and improvement in processes. Whether AI will lead to, say, a faster conversion is something which is the holy grail that everyone is chasing, and that's where the bucks will lie. We'll keep coming back to you with many such interesting topics. Do keep watching MBTV and don't forget to like, share, and comment.